Hello, you music lovers. I'm talking U2. So if you're a U2 hater, you probably need to turn this video off immediately. But I am going to be talking about another of my favorite music DVDs. And yeah, this is U2, the Zoo TV tour live in Sydney. Now, this is a bit of a personal one for me because I actually saw this tour. I saw it. In '93. It was right at the end of August that year at the old Wembley Stadium. Now, just to fill in the background to this tour, anyone who knows anything about U2 history, we all know that at the end of 1989 they did a concert New Year's Eve, and Bono told the audience that they were going to go away and dream it all up again. And in 1990, around about that time, they decided to go out to Berlin around the time of the Berlin Wall coming down, or not long after that happened. They went to Hansa Studios, where, of course, David Bowie and Brian Eno, their producer, had previously worked with David Bowie there, and tried to make a new album. And, of course, it was quite a fraught set of sessions until they came up with the song One, and that then really started a flourish of creativity, and the album that emerged from that was Achtung Baby, which was, of course, in many ways quite different to the albums that U2 had made before. And the tour for that, the Zoo TV tour, was also very, very different from their previous concerts. It started in the US, I think, as an arena tour. It was an indoor tour to start with, and then it went out to the stadiums. And Zoo TV was the concept behind this tour, and it was kind of like a multimedia experience. They mixed live TV and all sorts of footage on the screens. It was what was on the screens was part of it as much as what was on the stage, and yeah, I remember Bono having a TV controller and changing the channels and looking at footage of everything from trashy adverts to footage of the Bosnian War that was taking place at that time, and the whole thing was just a commentary on the media and information overload and all that kind of thing. And it was the sort of thing where they overloaded you with all this information, and you could sort of go away and take what you wanted from it. But it was really, I think, a brilliant tour. I was lucky enough, my mate and I got to be in the standing area right near the front of the stage. We're only a sort of a few rows back from the very front of the stage. And I remember the side I was on was where the Edge was. He was the one who came closest to us most. So I got to watch the Edge, particularly remember during Mysterious Ways, the Edge came quite close to me. But that helped make the concert very memorable. But I think virtually everybody I know who saw this tour said, and still says to this day, one of the best tours that they've ever seen. So I had to get the DVD of this. It was recorded in Sydney in December of '93, so it was right at the tail end of the tour. And I think in this one, Bono is dressed as Mr. McFisto. I think so. Yeah, he came on for the encore dressed as his alter ego character, Mr. It's absolutely bonkers. You remember when Bono used to wear his wraparound shades? He started wearing wraparound shades during this era, and when he came on at the start of the concert, he was doing a little bit David Bowie-ish because he was playing a character called the Fly, who was an egotistical rock star. So this gave him the chance to act up and just be really crazy. But by the end of the show, he would come out as Mr. McFisto, who was kind of like the old, washed-up version of the Fly, who was now doing cabaret or something like that. And that's where he put on his English lovey accent and was quite sarcastic. He used to make phone calls from the stage to various famous people. I think on one occasion he phoned the Vatican, tried to speak to the Pope. I think on another occasion he phoned up a pizza place and ordered pizzas for everybody in the front row of the concert. I think that was one of the arena shows in America. He did that. But on the show I went to, he made a phone call to Graham Taylor, who at the time was the manager of the England football team, and he got the audience to sing "You'll Never Walk Alone," onto Graham Taylor's answer phone. So that's that's just one of the things I remember from that particular concert. I have seen bootlegs of the show that I was actually at, but obviously it's not quite as well filmed as this. So yeah, another thing I just wanted to throw in there, if you are a U2 fan, if you're a big fan of U2 and you haven't read this book, I really recommend this. Get a hold of a copy of this by Bill Flanagan, the Irish music journalist, who was given inside access to U2 during the Zoo TV tour. And he got to interview them, chat with them, hang around with them. I mean, this was at the time when Adam Clayton was dating Naomi Campbell, remember that? And all that was going on. And of course, they encountered lots of celebrities on the course of this tour. It was a big tour at the time, and a lot of people from the world of music and fashion wanted to hang on to it and be part of it. So it's a really fascinating insight into the band, and not just Bono, but all of them really. Really readable. It really takes you on the tour. So U2 at the End of the World by Bill Flanagan, worth watching. And I definitely recommend checking out the Zoo TV Live from Sydney DVD. If you haven't seen it, you really should have a look. And you also get a booklet in here. Is there a lot in there? Well, no, it's typical packaging of the Zoo TV, Zooropa era, really. A little bit of information in here. But yeah, there you go. U2 at the End of the World in Sydney. Another of my music DVD choices. Have you seen that? What do you think of that? You don't need to tell us that you hate U2, because you can go on the internet and find lots of people hating U2. So you don't really need to add to that. But if you've got something positive to say about the band, let us know in the comments. Many thanks. I'll be back very soon. All the best.